Well, one of the mediation tool, of course, first of all, is the credibility of the organization. The fact that both sides, Lebanese authorities and IDF, as you know, they have no dialogue, and they have been using our offices, our good offices, through the head of mission and force commander, Lieutenant General Lazaro, to communicate messages. And I would say some of these messages during this conflict has been very of paramount importance to not only to de-escalate tensions, but also to prevent very dangerous misunderstandings that could have potentially led to a much wider conflict. So the fact that on a daily basis our head of mission is in touch with both sides bilaterally in order to de-escalate tension somehow is a positive sign that no one wants to escalate, or there is maybe not a real appetite for a wider conflict. Our strategic partners are the Lebanese army, the Lebanese authorities, even a-t-elle. So the communications is done through them. That's what we can do based on our mandate. But so far this has been working well, I would say, because we have been able to have this kind of communications on a daily basis. And so far, after, I would say, 2 months today of conflicts, of exchanges of fires, all exchanges of fire have been very much localized. So that most of the shelling has been between 4, 5, 6 kilometers from the blue line. And that's it's a positive aspect of the fact that no one wants to escalate the tension. Well, 1701 has been hugely challenged, definitely, during this conflict. But the main provisions of security, stability, long-term solutions are still there. And that's what we're working on. So implementation of 1701 is still very relevant, even more relevant today, because we are seeing the effect of a conflict. And being able to work in support of the Lebanese army, to try to mediate with the parties, to be the only organization that is able to communicate with both, it's something that needs to be taken into consideration. And that's why implementation of 1701 is still very valid. And even in the last meeting of the Security Council a couple of weeks ago, there was still a commitment from member states in continuing and also asking for the implementation of 1701. Let's say there is a lot of speculations in these days. There are a lot of reports that have been circulating in different circles, media, political circles, but we are working with what we have on the ground at the moment. We are communicating with the parties, we are trying to de-escalate the tension, and of course any kind of conversation in bringing back stability to the south of Lebanon can be done here, as we are doing right now, but of course also through member states, not only of the Security Council, but through the commitment of the international community to find the solutions. UNIFIL is still very much working with all the local communities. We are still working not only on monitoring the area of responsibility, but also working with communities in terms of providing assistance, the same kind of assistance that we were providing before. We are still working on the ground despite the shelling. Well, they're fully committed, and despite everything, we still have 47 countries with more than 10,500 troops fully deployed. No one has left. Everyone is present in their bases. Of course, we take all the precautionary measures to provide security and safety to our troops, but whenever there is not an active shelling, our troops are on the ground, operational 24/7. This has not changed. Any crime and killing not only of reporters but civilians is against international law, and it may amount to a war crime. This is something where we have said from the beginning. Reporters, they play a very important role during day-to-day life, but during a crisis, during a conflict, even more.